I'm Raman Adel from BTS, and in this video we're going to be talking about business simulations and how they're applied in the corporate setting. A business simulation is a dynamic, computer-based experience that allows leaders to practice running a business, a division, or a process in a risk-free environment. They get to experience critical interdependencies, execute best practices, and the levers available to optimize their company's key performance indicators. Business simulations are highly effective in building critical capabilities needed for strategy execution. Business acumen in particular is one area that simulations address very nicely. And some of the skills under business acumen that they develop are building a broad perspective on an enterprise and critical business interdependencies, strategic thinking, financial acumen, customer focus, market orientation, and a whole host of other skills needed to make strategy a reality. So usually a simulation is geared for class sizes of 15 to 30 participants. They're broken up into teams of 5, and each team is given a simulated company that they'll be responsible for managing. So they go out into a breakout room, and as a team, as a decision-making team, they are responsible for running this simulated company. So they will set strategy, and they will make a series of decisions on how they want to execute on that strategy and allocate all their corporate resources. After the decision round is done, the teams will return back to a main room. There we will have what we call a know-how session, which is really a content session that talks about new tools that they can leverage to implement the strategy and also build some core skills and capabilities. After the know-how session, we then have what's called the feedback session, where we look at how the teams have performed in the competitive marketplace. We highlight who's done really well and why have they done well, and we suggest areas for improvement for the teams that haven't done as well so they can go back into the next round of the simulation and make those targeted improvements. We then have an application session, and during the application session, the teams identify their key learnings from the program, they identify key success factors for the organization moving forward, and then individually they develop action plans that they are then tasked to take back to the job to implement to drive the strategy and drive performance of the business. And those action plans generally are followed up on over a 6-month period after the program, and it's very typical that the participants will report back some significant business results and business impacts as a result of their action plans. The business simulations allow for practice of the strategy in a risk-free environment, so they allow leaders to make mistakes without jeopardizing the business. They disseminate best practices in strategy execution. They create a deep sense of ownership of the strategy, ultimately motivating action back on the job.